The real tea.
The real tea, unearthing the pregnancies of this university. Fuck them being you're not socially distancing. This is kind of the best that it's gonna get. I actually think it's quite good like
I
this.
think it's quite cute.
Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome back to the channel. There's a bee here.
Oh no.
Is that a bee?
That's a word.
I can never tell the fucking difference. Today we are gonna be spilling tea.
Yay.
Hopefully not literally, because I genuinely, the one more thing that could go wrong today, if it goes wrong, I swear I just, The most important thing of all is my guest today, Adela, the famous Adela. No one asked for this collab. I was
We
like,
did.
yeah, we were like, yeah, we want to film together.
That's
today.
what you're getting.
Do you want to talk about COVID first? The elephant in the room.
Oh my god, yes, there's just too much happening. See, we all came back and like we all expected the semester to happen somehow, but I feel like nobody expected this, especially because I came back from Prague because I thought there would be like in-person tutorials, right? There are now, but it's just also controversial, you know, like
yeah, I think
whole-
like the people I was speaking to, I think the main problem they're having is that they're annoyed that they weren't told more about what the uni was thinking throughout summer, as opposed to just like now being told, well not now, at like the first week of uni, being told, oh by the way, we may not even have in-person classes. Like for me, I live here, so that's a different story. But both of my modules are fully online. Fully online. Like I'm not gonna have any in-person classes at all this semester.
the thing is, I have one tutorial in person now out of 3 tutorials. 95% of my classes are online, so it's a little bit like I am really happy to be back, you know, like I love St Andrews and I love the community here, but then like see, if I was like an international student, I would be so angry that I paid for like flights, like expensive flights. I wouldn't want to be a fresher right now, like no way.
So apparently, okay, this is like into the tea bit of this. So one of my friends was really angry that they had all been asked to come back and then they weren't properly told, whereas apparently US universities have been updating their students on a weekly basis, sometimes multiple times a week, to tell them, oh, we're doing this. And so this friend of mine, they were telling me that they, after Sally's email about the whole situation, they sent a really like comprehensive email back stating all these reasons and stuff. She replied really gruffly and was basically like it's not your place to say this and stuff. My friend was outraged and emailed back and was like, yes it is, I am paying to be at this university. So I don't know, it's like that whole thing of authority figures and having discussions about what's going on. I don't know, I feel like the conversation is quite important to be had, and the fact that I'm sure it's not the case for everyone, but the fact that she's responding like this, to be fair, I understand that they're going through a lot of stuff at the moment, and I think, not gonna lie, the past couple weeks they've dealt with it reasonably well, except for that 40-person party.
Oh my god.
It was freshers, right?
Yeah, I think so. Have you heard about like the students being expelled?
No.
See, I don't know if this is legit. I haven't done the research, so like it might not
Don't
be
quote
like,
us, insurance.
Do not quote us. I've heard that like some medic students were expelled because they went to a party. See, I don't know if that's true. I've heard that like it's
The thing is,
rumor.
for medics, it's been a lot like more like difficult in the sense of like they're really tight with them.
Yeah.
Like they mess up once and they're off.
That's so unfair though. Like I understand that medic students should be like the priorities, you know, but at the same time, like it's unfair that only students of medicine were expelled but other students weren't.
I agree with
If that's true, like if that's true.
Yeah, I agree with that. People should be setting a precedent for everyone, because so that 40-person party is the one that got busted, but I have personally heard, as in I cannot reveal my sources, but I know for a fact there were 10 to 20 people parties going on as well, and none of them have dealt with any consequences or anything like that, because everything happens under the radar. But there are certain areas of St Andrews that you can see parties happening at. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention. Massive parties.
Honestly, like I've heard some like
massive. Apparently
sounds.
two of my friends were at the beach and they were coming back home because the police told them to go home. They were just having pizza and talking, and it was two of them or three of them, and they were all told to leave, and then on their way home they saw this massive rager party going on that street.
Oh my god.
Literally.
Sip. See, but also like with the medics, like if there's like a pandemic in the future, they're the ones who are gonna like fight against it,
exactly.
you know? So like it kind of doesn't make sense to expel them now when you kind of need there to be doctors, you know, like
Yeah, but they want good doctors.
one thing that I really appreciate the uni doing, paying for the transport back to St Andrews for students, like that was a good move from the uni. They basically paid for the shuttle bus for me, like a private shuttle bus. Otherwise I'd have to pay like £80, and they paid for everybody. Like you just had to like sign up. Over the summer they paid for like same storage for you to, like,
Yeah. There was tea about that as well.
yeah,
What was the tea on that? Because I didn't use it, obviously.
I am missing so many items. So they didn't pack any of my like UT things, like hygiene stuff. My very expensive candle was not there.
Oh.
And that really like broke me because like I was literally upset for like the next week, because I was like, I got the candle on a holiday with my friend and it was like a memory, you know. I brought it to uni in my first year, so it kind of like reminded me of first year. Like the smell was just like very nostalgic to me. So I emailed them and I was like, hi, so my candle is missing, where is it? And they were like, so like candles aren't allowed, so contact the uni, because they probably confiscated it. So I contacted them, like I contacted Uni Hall, and they were like, there's no way, like we checked and there's no way we have it. So I was like, who do I trust? I'm getting over it.
You know
Slowly.
what happened to me? So today I wake up, I'm having a chat. My flatmate comes in, he's like, oh, we could have COVID. And I'm just like, what? So one of our friends who we saw a couple days ago is getting tested today.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm like, I really don't think we have COVID. And then he's like, no, we have COVID.
Oh my
And
god,
I'm like,
what?
he's just like, yeah, give it to Adele. Pass it on.
What chance? Test positive in like a week.
Stop. We're gonna know in less than 12 hours whether she has COVID or not. Oh yeah, people blatantly ignoring the rules,
Oh.
like in town.
If I see somebody in Tesco without a mask on, I'm like,
They're not allowed.
No.
It's illegal.
it's illegal.
What I don't understand is the whole illegal thing, and people are just rolling with it.
Yeah.
We've been forced to film outdoors because of legality issues. That is how much we care about y'all.
If I see somebody, their mask on like under their nose, that's literally one of my biggest pet peeves now. Like,
Oh, it pisses me off so much. I'm just like, you may as well not wear a mask. Like, what is the
Exactly.
purpose of you wearing a mask?
oh my god.
You know what else pissed me off?
Mm-hmm.
The voluntary lockdown, but not for the reason you think. I don't care about going to cafes and whatever. I care about the fact that they said voluntary lockdown. Immediately, like, majority of people were like, we're not doing it. And then the people who were like, we are doing it, were like, if we're doing it, what about the rest of the town? Because have you seen the influx of tourists?
Oh my god, yes. Every Sunday or like Saturday, the town is like full of tourists, and we're like that kind of like annoys me as well. COVID is kind of blamed on students right now, but
Although
then
the email was very nice about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But,
Sally
like,
was
by-
like, we don't blame you.
not by the university, but
Yeah.
I think by the residents here that aren't students. Did you hear about people getting told off when they're like walking together like with their partner or something? But they're
No.
like by the residents here. Like I saw some like Festrus posts. Like we're also residents, you know?
Yeah.
Just because a lot of people also live here like full time, like you,
Like
you know?
me, yeah.
It must feel so weird. During the summer it was so different to now. Do you think you're like perceived differently? Like because they can see that you're a student?
I don't know, I don't think so.
No?
I don't know, I feel like I've been here so long, everything just kind of blends together.
Yeah.
I know people in different shops now. I know
Aw.
people who work there. I'm like, hi, good to see you again, it's me, I'm back.
Aw.
Well, how do you feel being back?
I try to follow like all the rules and stuff, like the voluntary lockdown and everything. I think it's just so weird to like be going back in time almost, because this is literally like what was happening in March in Prague before I came here. Everything was literally like so free. Like you could go to parties, clubs opened and everything.
Yeah.
So it kind of felt like going backwards. Yeah.
I am a girl like you.
And like if you compare it, right, like with like my sister studies in Sweden at university, they have literally everything in person. Like there's nothing online. They are taking no precautions. So if I compare that to like St Andrews,
They're
and
just like YOLO.
literally, there's so many measures here, and like the tutorials are like so many safety precautions taken there.
Which
Yeah,
is
it's just
good,
so, yeah,
but
yeah.
it's
No.
different.
For sure, it's good.
Yeah.
Like the uni is really trying to make it safe for students. If the students are already back, like they're trying to do the in-person teaching as well. I think the in-person teaching is like safe. Don't you find it weird watching movies and stuff, and then they're like somewhere like at a party or something, and they're not socially distancing? I find it so weird.
Oh, this is an interesting thing that I wanted to
Oh.
mention. Apparently, couples, people living alone, and like those with like care needs are exempt from the whole two households not meeting indoors situation. But if you live in uni accommodation,
You cannot.
You
visit-
cannot.
No.
it's so sad.
I know.
Like I heard a few people considering going back home just because they live in uni accommodation. They're not allowed to see their like boyfriend or girlfriend, and they're not allowed to see like other people.
I wouldn't want to live in uni accommodation right now.
Ooh,
Like
yeah.
it's so sad.
Properties that are owned by the uni, it's the same rules. Even if we are in a flat,
Really.
same rules. The uni has decided to take the law into its own hands and do a little shaking and do whatever it wants.
I honestly just feel so bad for all the freshers, you know?
Me too. One of my academic children has already gone back home.
Really.
Yeah. When the moment they mentioned voluntary lockdown, she was like, bye.
Like St Andrews is so different this year than like other years, and you really cannot like, this is not like
How it
the good
is.
example
Yeah.
of St Andrews.
It literally just isn't how it is.
No.
Everyone is so upset about all of this going on, and then people are like, yeah, next year is going to be so much better, and I've just kind of accepted the fact that it's going to be like this for a long time.
Second semester,
No,
the same.
it's gonna be maybe a little less, but still like not normal. Moving on to St Andrews survivors, which is a popular topic that I always talk about. If you don't know, quick summary: St Andrews survivors is an Instagram page that is anonymous, and people send in their survivor stories of sexual assault. It gets put online so that other people can see people's stories and can relate to it and feel confident enough to share what's happened to them. In the midst of this being a really big deal that was covered by the Telegraph, the BBC, like really big news networks, every year the Saint has a freshers guide that is released for freshers, quite obviously. And this year there was a certain article in it that was taken down a couple of days after it's being posted. It's being published, when it was published. Yeah. English student not being able to English. It was taken down because of its very strong misogyny. And did you manage to read the article? Did I show it to you?
You like told me about it.
Yeah. No one that I know has actually read the actual article that was removed, which, by the way, if you have got access to it in some way, shape or form, I would really like to see it. So Feminist Society, if you're watching, please send it over to me. Thank you. I'm gonna leave a link below, you guys, to the Daily Mail, and this is also covered by the Telegraph, but I don't have a Telegraph subscription, nor am I gonna get one, so I didn't read that article. But regardless, it was basically this individual said that he has no notions of consequence. It was very, very bad. I don't want to add fuel to the fire, but I have included links below to the article, so feel free to check that out if you will. But my reason for bringing this up is this is quite like, it's tea because he's in our year, and also it's just quite bad. It's quite bad.
I'm surprised that the uni hasn't, like, it's so weird that
It's really weird.
like there hasn't really been any consequence. I don't know, like what was the approach afterwards? Like
So I think
is he
he's
still
been-
in charge?
No, I think he's been removed from the Saint or
Okay.
put on some kind of suspension, but not on his academic studies or anything. It hasn't actually gone into his head. Like, the whole purpose should be not just to make an example of someone, but to help them understand why they've made that mistake. Because the thought process that goes into thinking something misogynistic, writing something misogynistic, and then publishing it. And then whatever, it gets taken down. And then I see him walking around town looking as if there's nothing wrong. It's a little bit...
One good thing that I think has improved is the compulsory like modules. Like that wasn't like, I don't get how it wasn't compulsory beforehand.
I agree, but I think they're bad.
No. That's a whole different issue. See, at least there's something now, because before it was just like about plagiarism and copyright, but now this year they also included modules about like sustainability, consent, and the third one was
diversity, but it got removed.
Yeah, that got removed. That's a big thing.
Oh, we should talk about the tea of that. I know quite a few people who are in charge of like the BAME stuff. Obviously I'm friends with Ananya, who's member for racial equality. I had a discussion with her. She said they had it taken down because it was completely unsuitable. I fully agree. It was just not appropriate.
I didn't even get to that. No.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So
when it was up, it was like really weird questions. There was one question that it had a bunch of different faces of different classmates. Who would you want to get to know? Who would you be friends with?
No.
Yeah, and you were meant to select everyone because you should try and be friends with everyone.
What if you don't want to be friends with anyone?
So
just don't select anyone.
It was weird. It was really weird. And then there was another question about some guy called Michael. Michael is very religious. Michael puts up posters outside the library asking people to attend religious meetings. Michael likes to stop people and talk to them about religion. One day Michael finds out that his religious papers have been crumpled up and thrown to the ground. He's upset. Is he justified in being upset? And like there were different answers, and like one of them was like, oh, the students shouldn't have crumpled his papers. And the right answer for this question was that he shouldn't have pushed his religious beliefs onto other people.
No.
Yeah. So obviously like the Christian community was pretty angry about that one because they were like, this is a huge attack on us.
Yeah. What the heck?
Because obviously they're like this uni is a pretty big Christian uni in terms of like having lots of Christian students. So I think the Christian community was not happy about that.
I don't get like why people were so upset about the Christian Society just like giving out leaflets last year.
Yeah, people got
it was,
so
like,
triggered.
Yeah.
Like just don't take it.
Exactly. And
Calm
if
the fuck
you
down.
think about it, it's kind of like any other society, just like promoting their events.
Exactly.
Like what's the problem? Like if you don't want to take it, just don't take it, you know?
Yeah, don't make a big fuss about it. Remember
Yeah.
Festrus last year? People were going
Yeah.
off about, oh, this person tried to get me to come to like this event, and I'm like, mate, just calm down. You don't
Just
have to go.
Yeah.
I think the BAME Society wants to work on it themselves.
Oh, okay.
And then put it forward, which is what also should have happened with the consent one, which I had so many problems with. This is tea. This right here. St Andrews survivors put up this question post and they asked like, what do you want to see done by the uni? And we're going to try and include it in our discussions with them. I put a comment that I wanted something, and I said that I want the script to be changed, the script that people in student services use when they speak to survivors. They shared it and they said that as far as we know, they don't have a script and it's one-on-one different cases. And then I messaged them back after reading this and I was like, I spoke to the girl who's in charge of Got Consent, who frequently works with student services, and she told me that they do have a script and that it's not someone going rogue and telling someone, you know, things that they shouldn't hear, that all of them are saying these things. And then they replied to me saying that the survivors have told us they've all had completely different experiences. I'm pretty sure St Andrews survivors would not lie to me.
Yeah.
They have all of the evidence. I'm not saying anything, insurance please. I'm just trying to process my thoughts out loud.
That's really weird. Quite dodgy. I wonder if maybe like they have just a lot of scripts then. Imagine if they have like 100 scripts and they use just like different ones based on like different cases.
It's so weird. The one other thing that I have fully forgotten now I've fully forgotten right now. Oh yes, okay, it's about the whole A-level situation that happened.
Oh my god.
Before, I don't know if you had people contacting you, but I had freshers contacting me saying, hey, my school is in this district, so we've all been given bad grades. They were predicted like 3 A's or 2 A's and a B, and they've gotten like D, D, E. Also, the tea about the fact that they've let in too many students, and now they're having to build accommodations outside of St Andrews. Like, there are kids living in Dundee, you guys. I mean, I love Dundee. I like fully have changed my tune since last year. I love Dundee. We need to go at some point when like these regulations lift. I go to Dundee on the regular, you guys. There's a town that's maybe like 5-10 minute drive from here. There were St Andrews logo for accommodation.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
They're
like-
building another campus.
Campus, like the whole camp.
Like a campus. Like there were buildings. Have you heard about this?
No.
Wait, bring your phone out.
Wait, that was in like 2018.
That's when they invested the money. Now it's been built. I saw it with my own eyes. I don't know if actual things are happening there, but I do know that people are living in Dundee. We have heard this.
I would rather live in Dundee than like Lucas, which apparently some people
True,
are
true.
living there as well.
Problem is, the uni's in debt. We
Yeah.
all know this. The uni's in debt. That's why they're letting in more students. And that's why the number of international students grows every year. Fractionally, but it still grows. That's why they're having to put people outside of St Andrews, because there's just no space for anyone. This is a really small town.
But wasn't it kind of like the government's fault as well? Like,
Yes.
they might be like taking more students, but also like this is just, we should kind of blame the government for this.
Yeah, I agree with that, because
In a way.
they're not helping
Yeah.
the unis enough.
Mhm.
But I'm like, you have so many famous alum, the royal family included.
Yeah.
You could not get a little bit of money from them.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm.
Really?
The accommodation, like the one that they're like trying to rebuild right
Rebuild. Okay, yeah, that one.
now. Wait, what is it called?
I have no idea.
Oh
that
my God,
one.
that
I'll
one.
insert it right here.
I don't get why they're like investing the money elsewhere when they should like put it there right now, because it's in St Andrews, you know. People could be living in St Andrews.
It's literally, you know where Abbey Road is? Right there.
What is it called? Oh my
No
God.
idea. It's gonna bother
It's
you. isn't it?
bothering me so much.
I finished my tea, which is ideal.
Oh wait, let me down it then.
Thank you everyone for watching. It means a lot to us that you've decided to spend your day
Thank you.
watching us rant. Thank you, Adela, for being on the channel.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. As always, like this video, please. Subscribe if you haven't already.
Yes.
I'll see you at some point, because my posting is super irregular and that's how
We love
to
that.
roll.
Same.
So.
Hi guys, we're back quickly with an interjection.
One more T to spell. The Student Health Hub is closed.
People who want to get tested for STDs cannot, or anything like that.
Anything.
Picked up.
You have to go to Kirkcaldy to do this.
Guys, I went to Kirkcaldy literally last week for an appointment, and let me tell you, the hour-and-a-half bus ride there was bumpy. The hour-and-a-half bus ride back was also bumpy. So, is it good? No. Great being a student, yeah.